When, why, how, and what is the Bitcoin halving? Let's mine deep. The Bitcoin halving is a big event that happens only once every 4 years, which means the average person will only see it happen 20 times in their entire life, probably less. When Satoshi created Bitcoin, he knew that in order for it to succeed as money, it had to work as a store of value. The first step, a hard cap of 21 million coins. The second step was making sure it had a right incentive structure to ensure its security, which is enforced by Bitcoin miners participating in proof of work. What first started as people using spare laptops and extra video cards hashing and competing for 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes is now a $100 billion industry where people are using almost 0.1% of the world's entire electricity output to chase 6.5 Bitcoin every 10 minutes, soon to be 3.125 Bitcoin. But we'll get to that in a minute. What has driven that growth of hash power was a decision made by Satoshi early in Bitcoin's development called the halving. When starting a new currency, the biggest factor is establishing how the supply of said currency comes onto the market. If Satoshi just said, "Here's all 21 million Bitcoin, go nuts," who would have been incentivized to accumulate value towards it? Alternatively, if Satoshi didn't implement halving cycles and just kept the block reward at 50 Bitcoin every block until 21 million hard cap was hit, miners would have finished mining all the Bitcoin nearly 100 years in advance. Then what? Not only did Bitcoin need a supply limit, but it also needed a fair distribution schedule, one that enticed early adopters up front while still leaving enough of a reward over the next century to ensure continued long-term security and adoption. And here's how he did it. Every 210,000 blocks, Bitcoin's block subsidy to miners gets cut in half, over and over again 32 times, with each block taking approximately every 10 minutes. A halving happens approximately every 4 years until there's no block subsidy left at all, and all Bitcoin are in circulation. Now, even without the block subsidy, Bitcoin miners will still get paid for mining, but the majority of their income will come from the fees of transactions included in their blocks. Right now, transaction fees only make up around 3 to 8% of the average Bitcoin miner's revenue. But by 2035 or so, after a few more halvings, it's estimated that miners will make more from transaction fees than the block subsidy. As of now, 93% of all of Bitcoin that will ever exist has already been mined. By the time the year 2100 rolls around, when we're all zipping around flying cars and doing Zoom calls in holograms, Bitcoin miners around the world will be hashing every 10 minutes for a grand total of 0.0000596 Bitcoin. If you lost track of all the zeros, that's a grand total of 50 cents worth of Bitcoin in today's dollars. So why should you care? Because new Bitcoins are about to be a lot harder to come by. This halving cycle will officially make Bitcoin less inflationary than gold being pulled out of the ground. That other form of sound money we've used around for nearly 5,000 years. Humanity has moved from glass beads to copper to silver to gold, all in search for a commodity with the right store of value and medium of exchange properties. But never before in our history have we had a form of money where we knew exactly with mathematical certainty how much will be issued every 4 years and how much will ever exist in totality. There's not one single currency in all of humanity that has stood the test of time without being fundamentally debased by humans who issue it. And that's precisely because we issue it. If we're given the shot to print a currency, you bet your ass somebody's gonna try and do it. Bitcoin is a protocol, a set of rules without rulers. And the halving is one of the most brilliant rules in the protocol because it ensures Bitcoin is still desirable and functional long into the future. So cheers to another Bitcoin halving. And for any of the miners out there, good luck. You're gonna need it.